This is Beyond the Veil with Norman Meredith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Veil with me, your host, Norman Meredith, and my co-host and producer, Ed.
Hey man, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good deal. We got some topics on tap that are looking pretty sinister and interesting.
We're going to talk about cryptids of New Jersey tonight.
Yeah. That's always a good time.
Yeah. There's a few cryptids there. Not, New Jersey's famous for their Jersey Devil. They got a hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
They've got, anywhere in New Jersey, you're going to find somebody gotten some kind of scam going. I'm going to say scam going with the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Some kind of tour, stuffies, plushies, sightings and whatnot.
Capitalism, man.
Capitalism. That's probably the most famous cryptid probably in the U.S. besides Bigfoot. Because, that goes back to 1735 where Miss Leeds cursed her 13th child as it was being born, and when it came out of the womb, it flew up out of the chimney, up the chimney and out, because it looked like a part horse, part demon, and it was just a horrible looking creature that has been haunting the Pine Barrens of New Jersey for over 200 plus years.
It's like South Central. For all you who don't know out there, the Pine Barrens is like is like the South Central portion of New Jersey between, I think it's Fredericksburg and like the beach area.
Yeah.
Kind of middle of the area is just thousands of acres of nothing, and that's where a lot of things are actually hidden from New York City when they do certain things to certain people. And
there's
stuff.
marshland.
Watch The Sopranos.
There's trees. Bigfoot realms in there. There's a lot of cryptid type activity out in that area. I mean, there's so much that you could talk about. There's been televised. What was the name of that? One guy who went out there. We talked about him a show or two ago. Monster hunters or somebody went out there and they were hunting down the crypt, trying to find this Jersey Devil. They had thermal sightings. They were following it in the air and watching it in trees, and then it disappeared on them. And so, there's speculation that this creature could be misconstrued as a crane.
Okay.
Because cranes do inhabit the area.
Right.
And so it's possible, somebody may have seen a crane at night and misconstrued it and started calling it the Jersey Devil.
You're talking like a blue heron.
Yeah.
Like
what you have
the
down
big
here.
Bird. Yeah.
But, it's anything's possible. I got 2 or 3 pictures I think you can probably throw up if you want to show them to folks.
All right. Let me go right here with this one.
Okay. This is like an alleged artist concept of one of the versions of the Jersey Devil that people allegedly see. And then there's another one that we'll show you here in just a second where it was the smaller baby version that popped out of Miss Leeds back in the 1700s where, that flew up out of her chimney, and that was her 13th birth that, she was cursing her husband, cursing the world, cursed the devil, cursed God. And it was the byproduct of her cursing that created the Jersey Devil. And so we're going to bring up this next one here.
There it is.
That's an alleged photo. To me, that looks like somebody did a mannequin and probably ran wires, but you don't see the wires flying up in the air. But that is an alleged photograph of the Jersey Devil during the day.
That kind of looks like maybe it's sort of hanging from a tree a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, really good artist work got done on it to try to make it look like something it's not. And then I think I have one more illustration.
Nope, it's a cow.
All right.
Let's go back to you.
I'm sorry. I thought I had 3 of them. My bad. But, that's the most famous one out of Jersey. And every now and then you hear something going on up in Jersey about the Jersey Devil. Mm-hmm. We're going to move on to the next one, and this is interesting. I find it more humorous.
Is it the cow one?
The cow one.
All right, we already showed him the pictures, though. It looks like he's got a big smile on his face.
It's called the Griggstown cow, a creature reported in the 1990s in Somerset County, described as a massive calf-like animal with unusual features, often sighted in Weird, New Jersey. Now, I did find a little information on it. Let me bring it up here. Come on, don't do this to me. I don't have my mouse, so I gotta manually do.
Mm-hmm.
I got some notes here. Let me bring them down. All right. According to the thing, for 30 years, there's been a legend of a ghost cow that wandered the areas around Millstone River, floodplain, and Griggstown. The cow was seen many times, but only on foggy nights or other times of poor visibility. And many takes were told by local hunters and hikers along the canal path. No spoor or tracks were ever found. Some fuzzy photographs were taken, but they were all inconclusive. At the time, the area was mostly suburban homes and open fields, and the canal was now a state park and walking trail, so reports of a lone, ownerless cow wandering a suburban park for decades was greeted with suspicion by local authorities. The cow became known as sort of a Loch Ness monster of New Jersey. This changed on November 23rd of 2002 when a New Jersey Water Authority employee phoned the DNR Canal Park office and reported that he had not only seen the Griggstown cow, but it was lying in a ravine not far from the canal. Employees of the Wildlife Service were dispatched and, to their surprise, found a very old, weather-beaten bull that met the description of the ghost cow. And the cow seemed mysteriously... Come on. The cow seemed mysteriously because it was only spotted on days of poor visibility. Presumably, the cow's failing eyesight in responsibility for few recorded sightings. It probably just couldn't see well on foggy days and was less likely to notice encroaching humans before they spotted it. The bull had fallen into a ditch that was either too old or too arthritic to get out. There had been no dairy farms in the area for decades, and no one had reported any missing livestock. The only answer was this bull has been living in the floodplain all this time, since the days when there was a dairy farming area, foraging for food and avoiding human contact for 3 decades. Yeah. And eventually, when they got this thing out, it eventually died, and then it was, they buried it and sort of kind of buried the myth with the Griggstown cow after that. And then the next one they've got up is something called the Great Swamp Howler. Now, this is a massive beast that looks sort of like a bear with ram's horns and sort of a cat-like attitude. This creature is supposed to be massive, and it's a terrifying beast that just it's known for its loud, unnerving noises. And it's supposed to be just terrifying to see. And it's supposed to be, it eats animals, and if children and people are around, you'd be part of the dinner menu. And it's primarily also of note down more deeper south, like around Missouri and such. That's where it's prevalently more known, but it's just a small local legend here in New Jersey about this Ozark Howler. Now, I've got 1 or 2 more pictures that can give you examples.
There's one.
Yeah. Now, look at that thing. That looks like a giant bear.
Yeah.
Now, it's possibility this could be a throwback to another type of bear that just maybe is a genetic mutation, and the horns are part of that mutation. Because look at that thing. It looks like a giant grizzly almost. Mm-hmm. And, the horns could be a form of a tumor.
Its belly and its rear hips. Mm-hmm. And its shoulders too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it looks just like one actually. And a face almost of like a cartoon tiger.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And is there one more after that?
Yep, one more.
Yeah. And that is, the Ozark Howler. And I think someone maybe went and had exaggerated a little bit by placing horns on it to give it a demonic look, like it's a thing from hell. Now, there's another thing. Now, paranormal events also occur a lot in New Jersey. New Jersey is, believe it or not, pretty famous for a lot of paranormal events. And one of the biggest things is the Clinton Road Demon. Now, tales from the West Milford's infamous Clinton Road include sightings of, demonic red-eyed creatures that chase vehicles. But the descriptions are always different, from people to demons to hitchhikers to actual vehicles actually chasing people or their cars or trucks. And it's supposedly along this Clinton Road that this is where these apparitions occur. Now, I've got about 3 different photos to give you an idea of what people are encountering or representations of what they're encountering.
It's like a rendition of these pictures of what they think, and then an artist made this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I got one more.
You do?
That. Now, that's a right. A rake. Now, that would be... That I wouldn't put past being out there because, rakes are haunted trees and they're scary as hell. That in itself, I wouldn't put it past that there's rakes running around up there on the New Jersey road. I mean, anything's possible nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And then, we also got, Bigfoot running around there.
They're your standard guy. And he is the most...
Prevalent.
There you go. Prevalent. Yeah. Most prevalent across the United States. It's not like one chunk of geography. It's
everywhere.
All over.
And he goes, by every different name. I think this is the Sasquatch from Jack Link's.
Mm-hmm. That looks just like him.
Yeah. Or Harry and Henderson's.
With the big forehead.
Right.
Yeah. Some of them don't have that, but
no.
What is it, like balder on the forehead the older they are, maybe? That might be it. I don't know.
There's
male pattern baldness.
Yeah. Now you know where it comes from.
They were us. Yeah, Bigfoot is there's not a state that doesn't have a Bigfoot. I don't think Puerto Rico has one. That's a territory, but most of the continental United States, including Alaska, have Bigfoots. I mean, Bigfoots or Yeti or Yowie are just about everywhere. Hawaii is probably the only state, and until I check to make sure, it's probably the only place that doesn't have it. And I can't say anything about some of the islands in the Pacific because I've been reading some stories that there's actually giants that roamed some in the Pacific Islands, especially during World War II. So I can't put that down as saying were they giants or some form of Bigfoot / Yeti type creatures. Right.
Until I finish the research on that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then there's other things. There's a thing called the Pineys. These are residents referring to Pine Barrens. Folklore describes these figures as secluded feral figures, something like our rednecks, but worse. Yeah. And then there's will-o-wisps, glowing lights reported over swamps in the Pine Barrens. Now, I've seen will-o-wisps before, but a lot of times those will-o-wisps also can be dead spirits that are haunting or returning to a specific area to haunt because that's where they died. And then there's the Otko ghost, a spectral figure said to haunt a road near the former Ancora Asylum. And then there's, the last item is the Devil's Tree, a physically scarred tree in Bernards Township with legends of a farmer who hung his family and himself there. Yeah. So some interesting stuff there. Like I say, New Jersey's got a little bit of everything, including UFOs, which has been going on for the last 2 years.
And weird possible drones and unexplained aerial phenomena.
No.
I know you hate that.
I hate that word. I don't, no, I can't do that. No. You want to use aerial phenomenon for weather patterns and everything else, that's fine. But I can't say that. I just don't agree with it. But That's what tonight's show is about tonight, folks. And I hope you enjoyed a small blurb on New Jersey cryptids. And next week we'll choose another one. We're getting close to our 100th episodes here pretty soon. And we're going to do...
Maybe next week. You never know. Or the week after.
Week after that. We're going to make that a single episode on the day. We're going to try to push for 40 minutes.
We need it in person.
And do a recap of everything. I'm going to try to reach out to somebody.
I know a guy.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm going to reach out to my favorite Marine colonel, see if he's interested.
Do it. Let's get him. Can you get him in the studio?
I doubt I can do that.
Okay.
It'd probably be speaking to him over the communications like we did last time, because he generally hangs out in either Australia or Alaska, depending on where he's at.
He's hiding.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
All right, folks, we're going to sign off from Pickens tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show and look forward to the bonus episode where we're going to talk about missing scientists and a general.